extend a warm welcome to one and all present here. We welcome you all to the Distinguished Speaker Series.
Today, we have the privilege to host a very special guest, Mr. Avishek Mohanta, a prominent HR leader in the industry and also an alumni of IMT Hyderabad from the 2012-14 batch. With over 10 years of experience in human resources, Mr. Avishek Mohanta is a passionate and strategic HR leader. He is currently serving as the Regional HR Head Mumbai at Sodexo, a global leader in quality of life services where he oversees the HR functions for over 8,000 employees across Mumbai and leads a team of 20 plus HR professionals.
His core competencies include HR strategy, HR business partnering, HR operations, talent acquisition, and HR analytics. He has successfully led and implemented various HR initiatives and projects such as employee engagement, performance management, talent development, and HR transformation. He has also coached and mentored HR professionals to achieve their career goals and aspirations. We now would like to call upon Mr. Avishek to address the gathering.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. The volume is very low. But now it's better. So I have prepared a small PPT just to keep you guys engaged while I speak, and you also have some recall from that. Just to start, 2012-14 batch. So 12 years back, I was there, where you guys are today, and I was, we were listening to a lot of industry experts and leaders coming and speaking to us. Today, it's a different feeling of being here, 10 years down the line. So a good feeling, but very, very nostalgic. Coming back to the college after 10 years, getting an opportunity to connect with the new batch and help you guys with some of your queries, which you might have at the start of your post-graduation program. But rest assured, you have chosen one of the best institutes in the country. Given the inputs that you put in, now it's in your hand. You have the best faculties, best resources out here. It is up to you how you take it up, right? So we will take this session in two parts, right? First, I'll tell about myself, my journey in the college, post-college, and then we'll take questions from you if you have any queries, if you have any questions in mind, or how will be my career, what should I choose, what kind of career I can expect, what can be my placements and all. I'll try to address as many questions as I can, right? So what is the time limit that we have?
We have about 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Sure. So you can also have a look at the screens while you listen to me. So 2012-14 batch. So I am a BTech graduate, 2005-9 batch. Then I worked with GE Healthcare and GE Capital for 2 years, where I realized that an MBA would help me have a faster career growth. So one is the core competencies you bring in, and then the kind of college you attend, the learnings that you have in your post-graduation, put together will help you go up the ladder faster, right? So first thing, a bit about me, then I'll take you through my professional journey, then some learnings that I would like to share with you, and then few interaction, and I'll share some of my memories that I have, to share with you guys, right? So 2014 batch, I have specialized in HR, right? All my subjects were HR, and then couple of banking subjects which I have taken, because it is always good to have some variety in your career. It always gives you an additional edge, because in today's time, any company you work, any function you work, first thing what is expected of you is understand business, right? What kind of business, and also you cannot be successful working in silos, only working in your departments. You need to understand everything. Hence, the first year is very, very important, where you get access to all kind of subjects all kind of subjects from all kind of departments, not in depth, but basics. So you get to learn HR, you get to learn marketing operations, the basics of everything which is needed in management, right? So one thing is, whatever you do in life, right, nothing is by chance. You take decisions and you are responsible for your success and sometimes your failures, which you need to acknowledge and go on, right? Always take decisions based on, never take emotional decisions. Always take decisions based on whatever informations you have, and then expect that, going forward that will be good. Because nobody takes a decision for a, step back or a negative output, right? So these are the companies that I have worked with. I worked with Tata Consultancy Services, GE Healthcare, GE Capital as a stint together. RPG Group, startups, Seniority and Evergreen Club, Byju's. I think most of you know about Byju's. So I was also a part of that journey for 1 year, a lot of learnings, which I'll share a bit of that. Then I worked with Videocon, Urban Ladder, and currently I am the regional head for Sodexo. So Sodexo is into facility, it's a French MNC, and it's into facility and food services, right? So I head the HR for Mumbai region, where we have approximately 8,000 people, around 2,000 on-roll white-collar people, and 6,000 plus blue-collar people, the frontliners. So I have a team of 26 people, out of which 15 people are from talent acquisition who do the hiring for me. And then there are 4 people who are my business partners. So one HR business partner is roughly responsible for 2,000 people. Similarly, 4 learning and development leaders. 1:200 is the tentative ratio. And then 1 compliance person and 1 PMO who helps me with all the data presentations and all, right? So any questions as of now? No, right? Great. So 2005-9, I did my BTech, right? And then I was placed with Satyam. And at that point of time, we could not get those offers because of the issue that they had. And then Tech Mahindra had taken them up. So I came to Bangalore and I got an opportunity to work with GE Healthcare as a HR trainee. So I worked there for 1 year, everything. So whatever my boss used to say, I used to execute, right? One important thing I learned there was, one of the most important tool for any department, anything, is Microsoft Office Suite. Word, Excel, and PPT. These 2 years, make sure you are the master of that. Because irrespective of you are getting into any corporate or a startup or you are doing your own business, this tool will help you with any kind of data analysis, information, and then converting that information into decision-making pointers or communicate the same to your management or senior leaders. And today's time, additionally, G Suite, that also gives you every replica of MS Office. So either you are in HR, marketing, operations, supply chain, get these 2 softwares, in and out, right? So I worked there with GE Healthcare in Bangalore. Then I was transferred to GE Capital in Gurgaon. So my entire career, I have been very flexible. I have worked across many cities in India. Wherever I get a good opportunity, I go. So, and hence you see a lot of companies which are there. So technically, I stick to a company as long as I love doing what I'm doing. Once, that feeling comes to me that I'm fed up of it, I generally look forward for something else. Now, people can interpret it in different ways, but it is an individual choice. So I have my friends who are there with TCS. We are 72 people across India who joined TCS as 2012-14 management trainee batch. And I was only one from IMT Hyderabad. So there are only 6-7 people who are still there with TCS, right? So these are individual choices that you make in life. So then, coming back to GE Capital, I was in Gurgaon. I was leading recruitment for GE SBI credit cards. So SBI credit cards, when they launched, they had a tie-up with GE Capital. GE Capital brought in the experience of global credit card operations, which was the back end of all the credit card transactions, the underwriting, if some of you know what it is, and then SBI would brand it and sell it across. So I worked there for 1 year, and that was during that tenure I realized that I need to go for an higher study, right? And then I gave CAT. I had the option of choosing IMT Hyderabad or or Nagpur or Dubai. So I chose Hyderabad because of the infrastructure. I came here, I met few faculties. I saw the handout, the subjects. I met few of the faculties, and then I decided that this is a college where I can bet my career with. And then I resigned and landed up in 2012 June, where Chakrapani sir, Saurav sir, all over there. They have been. So you have also spent a long time. I just realized.
Not thinking of
So yeah. So 2 years. I will speak about those 2 years, right? In the last. So in the last section, we will talk about how I have spent my 2 years, and you can also have some understanding of how you need to spend these 2 years, because these 2 years are very critical. You have all spent your graduation, and since you are here, this is your, you can say 80% your last option in academics, because the next being your PhD, which very less people do. So make the maximum out of it. I was not happy doing BTech, let me be honest. My CGPA was 6.9. But in MBA, I got over 8, because this is what something I wanted to do, and I knew that this is the last option I have with respect to my education. So this is what will drive my career ahead, and getting placed from here is must. So whatever you do, have a mix of everything, but ensure that whatever you specialize in, you are one of the best in the batch, and you are one of the best among the people who are competing for jobs outside, right? So then 2012-14, I was here. So first year was, a mix of everything. But since I had worked in HR before, it was very clear that I will take HR along with either marketing or a few finance subjects, just to have a variety in my expertise also. Thank you. So I did my internship from ITC. It was 4 months. Maybe it is 4 months? It is less. So we had 4 months, a 16 weeks internship, where I worked with ITC for 2 projects. One was in recruitment, where I created a dashboard for them in Excel, which was very much interactive and automated. And second was with respect to learning and development. So ITC was getting into the personal care product division, which is your Fiyama, Devils, Vivail. Those were the products which they were working in. They were getting into modern format retail. So if you walk into a big bazaar, so now it's Smart Bazaar, or Reliance, you will see there are specific counters of specific brands, and there are people. So they were called modern format retail outlets, where you are a part of a bigger store, not malls, but bigger stores. So we are planning a training and development plan for them, since it was a new project. So I got a A out there, 10 on 10. So that was a good project. So back to college, all HR subjects, banking and finance, and one project which was non-HR, right? Banking and finance, because I thought, money is very important. And with everything that you have, if you don't have money, then it is problematic. So money and health, both you should prioritize first. So these two go parallelly, right? So hence banking and finance. So I was campus placed with TCS, right? So TCS, we joined, so I think 2012 May, I joined TCS as an intern, because TCS had 72 people from various institutes across the country, and they have a provision of having ULPs, right? ILPs, Initial Learning Program. So all 72 people were taken to Ahmedabad for 3 weeks. So we had to wait till the last college had the last date. So it was in July. So I worked with them for 3 months as intern before joining them full time. So again, my projects were in recruitment. 6 months, people were happy with what I was doing, and I was transferred to Mumbai. So 2014 November, I was transferred to the corporate talent acquisition team of TCS. And there I was managing multiple projects, right from managing LinkedIn, employer branding, managing Naukri, Monster, global deals, because we were dealing in millions across the globe. And then I thought, it's a long time doing recruitment, so I think I should look for something else. I got an opportunity to work with Videocon. There my role changed. It was entire end-to-end HR, right from recruitment to, exec, performance management, learning and development for Western region, but for a smaller headcount, right? I worked there for 2.5 years, and Videocon got sold to Dish TV. At that point of time, Dish TV wanted us to move to Noida, which I did not want to, right? I was based out of Mumbai. I wanted either Mumbai or Bangalore because there I had a bigger base of my friends. Because after office, it is friends and family which, recharges you every day. And then we look forward to the next day at work, right? So I came to Bangalore. I had 3 offers at that point of time. One Bajaj Electricals, one IIFL, which is a financial firm, and Urban Ladder, which was a startup. So I took a risk with startup. I knew anything can happen, right? Startups, at that point of time, we know it was hire and fire, but I thought, okay, let's take a risk and see how it goes. So then I joined Urban Ladder, and it was a spike. So when I joined, we started, hiring, and suddenly there was some cash burns. So a lot of you will understand what cash burn is and all, everything when you read through the financial courses. So cash burn is basically the cash I am spending to get revenue, right? So the cash burn was high. So we were spending more than the revenue. So we were spending from our pocket to get the revenue, right? So then there was a cut. So I had to lay off people. Those are very crucial and emotional discussions, right? You are telling somebody that from tomorrow you don't have a job, and we are paying you 2 months salary. So one thing, make it very, very clear. So even if we are full-time employees, but it's kind of a contract that we work on, that either side can say that, so I can leave a job in 2-3 months time as discussed in my appointment letter. Similarly, the company can also do the same. But either side, we have to either respect the time or money, right? So there is no job security anywhere. It is a myth. You have to go in every day, give your best. That is how you will stay relevant in the industry, right? So again, at Urban Ladder, we scaled down, and later on, I moved out to RPG Group, but later on it was sold to Reliance. So Reliance bought it. So one more fact, I don't know how many of you will be able to relate to it. So you guys understand what e-shops are? Okay, so e-shops are basically the shares of unlisted company which the company gives you, just to have a sense of ownership and building wealth, right? So when I got the e-shop letter, the company was valued at 1,200 crores. And at the time when it was sold to Reliance, it's in news, okay, I'm not giving any insider data. It was sold for 190 crores. So right from 1,200 crores to approximately 190 crores, right? So be very, very careful when you are selecting a company, whenever you are switching job. The first thing, while you are from the campus, take up whatever comes in as per your skill sets, right? And then first 1.5 year, just hone your skills. So here you are there to learn the basics of a PGDM course, right? First year basic, second year you get some specialization when you take a particular course up, right? Particular department, say function, marketing, finance, whatever. But when you go to the industries, you start implementing those things. Now here you are reading it, making projects, but then your decisions, your reports will have an impact on the business, because you will present it to your manager, they will take it up. One small mistake can cost crores, right? So you have to be very, very careful there. So Urban Ladder, I got a better opportunity with RPG Group, right? How many of you know RPG Group? Okay, so very few. So RPG Group is an enterprise company which runs several companies like Zensar Technologies, RPG Life Sciences, Seat Tires. How many of you know Seat Tires? Right, so it is an RPG Group company. Zensar Technologies, okay, it's an RPG Group company. You have Harrison Malayalam and KEC International. Anybody knows KEC International? So these are infrastructure companies. So they had two startups. One is Seniority and one is Evergreen Club. Both were in the senior citizen segment, right? Doing something. So yeah, Seniority was an e-commerce platform for senior citizens, only senior citizen products, with assistive service of buying for senior citizen, because a lot of times they're not comfortable going to Amazon or Flipkart and search an item, identify that it is a good item or not, a fake item or not. So just an example how we differed with respect to Amazon and Flipkart. So you can also try, if you see a product and if you call up Flipkart or Amazon customer service, right, for any kind of specific product information, they will read out everything which is there, which is already there in terms of the specification and description. They will not give you anything extra. But for Seniority, our team members were trained to manage senior citizens and have all additional features. We had lesser products, so we could do it, right? Only towards the senior citizen. Then we had opened E-Club during COVID. E-Club was more of a Facebook and Instagram together for senior citizen, for 50 plus. So what happened during COVID, for the senior citizens, their, a son, daughter working from home, tied up, their grandchildren, tied up with study from home, not work from home, study from home. So they could not go out and meet their friends in the society or, in the near localities, which they could do pre-COVID because of several restrictions which had come in. So this platform was a hit, instant hit in 2 months, right? We had approximately 50,000 users who registered, and we had various programs, community run live programs of, antaksharis, baking classes, financial classes, social media networking. So we had community leaders who would drive it for them. But unfortunately, again, these two companies were sold out to HCH. HCH is, again, a company owned by Dabur, which is into healthcare sector. Then 2022 comes my Baiju days. So I got an offer from Baiju's when I was on my way out from the company. And at that point of time, it was valued at 22 billion, right? One of the biggest edtech companies in the world, leader in edtech technology, innovation, super product. And if you see even today, most of the HR guys in Baiju's are top premium institute guys. Accelerate, IMT, MDI, IBM, right? But unfortunately, governance, you can all go through. Baiju's is a classic case. You should always follow the news and read case studies on that. How a 22 billion valued company becomes zero in 1.5 years. It's only governance. So I think, sir, we also have a governance class, right? So yeah, governance is very, very important. So integrity, governance, these are very, very important. So Baiju's, I again moved out because there was no point staying back. Because they were laying off people, and people who were not laid off, they found something and they moved out, right? Then last year I joined Sodexo. So after a 4-year stint with startup, I said, okay, let's go back to the corporates and have a peaceful life, right? With some sense of security and all. Sodexo is a French MNC, and we have been into operations in India since late 1990s, right? So how many of you, since you guys are absolutely new generations, how many of you have seen those Sodexo coupon bundles? Oh, a lot of you, right? So we have discontinued that, and now we have acquired Zeta technology company, and we have those meal card reward systems through them, right? So here I head the regional HR. Okay, so now I head the regional HR here around 9 months into the system, and I've already told you what I do, right? Right. These are few of my awards that I've got during my career, mostly after 7-8 years. And thanks to our IMT team, they have always posted these in their social media networks, and I am grateful for that. Right. You guys were seeing it? Okay, I love that. of my learnings, right? One thing very important is please be open to feedbacks, right? Feedback will help you work on the things which will help you in the future, right? So I have seen a lot of people who are not open to feedbacks, and from HR we help the business team to, figure out ways where we can give positive feedbacks and inputs in different ways, because every individual is different, every human being is different. You cannot have the same mechanism of giving feedback, and similarly you cannot expect the same way that everybody will give you feedback. Few feedback will be sugar coated, you need to understand what it is, and few feedbacks will be on your face, right? But just understand that who's giving the feedback and what is the intention, that is more important, right? Then okay, I cannot see it here. Okay, always be open to learning, right? The moment somebody feels that I know it all or I have nothing to learn more, then the downfall starts, right? Now today also I have a 21-year-old girl in my company. She tells me about the latest technologies that she uses, like with respect to PPTs. We have moved to Canva, right? A lot of people make their resumes in Canva. A lot of people make their presentations, business case studies in Canva. So there are other like ChatGPT. A lot of you would know, right, how it helps. Then there is Firefly Notes, right? Whenever you do a meeting, instead of MOM, if you have that application, it takes MOM on behalf of the meeting, right? So you don't need to record or anything. So then there are softwares which help you, automatically analyze data, right? Few are free, few are not. So always keep learning. Whatever is the new, whatever new things are coming in the market, always be updated. What is relevant for you and your growth? How can those tools help you? And with time, you will see that a lot of changes happen. Like 20 years back, everything was on pen and paper. Then computer came, right? And then we have laptops. Now people work on their mobile phone or tabs. We have to be adaptive to all the changes for us to stay relevant into the industry. Networking and relationships, right? It is very important that in this group you all are there, right? 2 years you will bond a lot among yourselves and your faculties. Say 10-20 years down the line, few of your batchmates will be CEO of some company, VPs of some companies, right? Your network will help you grow. Your network will help you when you need them the most. When you are down, they will come and save you, right? Similarly, your faculties. Till today, I'm in touch with most of my faculties. Now, even so, I have Rumina ma'am, Shabnam ma'am, and few other faculties. Even if I get stuck somewhere, I give them a call that, I need some advice. What should be done? This is a unique scenario. So you will find a lot of unique scenarios when, you will work on the ground in hands, right? Second, and the last point is, okay. And the last point I want to emphasize on is problem solving. The more problem solving abilities you develop, the more you will be valued in any organization, because day in and day out you will face problems, management will face problem, business will face problem, your departments will face problem, but it is up to you how you develop that problem solving capability. I was in a recent conference where one of the speakers said that today common sense is uncommon. We don't think, first is the baseline thinking and then out of the box thinking. In order to be out of the box thinker, we are not there as a common thinker, right? So we need to use our senses well, and whenever you get into any kind of problem, right, it is very important that you have those senses to have the ability to understand what kind of solutions or what kind of options do I have. Because 2 years in the system, if you go to your manager with a problem, they will expect you to come with 4 solutions also, and then they will just see the best fit. You cannot go to your manager with just a problem that I have this problem. You have to do your research. You have to know the relevant stakeholders, who are there, why is the problem caused, what can be the probable outcome of that, and then you need to put your best. Nobody expects that you come with one solution and the best solution, but whenever you go up to any of your managers, any of your stakeholders, you should have some problem with some solutions with that problem, right? Okay, so before we go there, now I will share a few moments of my 2012-14 2 years. Any questions you have with respect to any career related, study related, any questions you have which you think that you can ask me, and I'll try to answer. Yes, please. So I had right. So before my MBA, I did work with GE Healthcare and GE Capital, and that was into HR. So my decision was clear that my MBA has to be in HR. So HR, it was more about people, right? And whatever, see, any company runs on 2 things, right? Basic. One is money, one is people. You cannot run a company without money and without people. Technology, product, and all are secondary, right? So, if so, for a CEO, 2 very important people are the CHRO and CFO. So, if you see most of the companies, I'll give you a classic case of TCS. So, every quarter, all the news channels will, live telecast TCS quarterly, results. They will have 3 people: the CEO, the CFO, and CHRO. TCS is about technology and people, right? Similarly, Sodexo technology and people. So once I got into this role, so I think recruitment is something which attracted me. And even when I was in college, right, BTech, I love the fact that the HR guys are coming, they're giving PPTs. I thought that is what I will do. I'll go to colleges, I'll hire people, I'll take interviews, and I'll go home. But that is not all what HR is. But yes, that is why I got into HR. But now I do everything. So it is basically you see something, and then whenever you get into any organization, right? Not necessarily your first job you will stick to that. You will interact with other departments, you will have friends, they will tell you what they do. You will have friends who work in marketing, you will have friends who do coding. They will tell you what they like and they don't. You will also have your own experience once you start working. A lot of people come in as IT coding professionals. They don't like it, they come to B school, do their MBA, they become a marketer, they become a HR, they become finance professionals. So it's your choice. You will have the opportunity to explore that. But if your question is how can I choose a stream, you should go by what your strengths are. Anything else? No, I was asking her if I could answer her question, or you have any other question which I have not covered. So what is your background? Okay, so from your post-graduation, you have directly come to post-graduation, is it? Okay, so you spend some time, see how first year goes. First year is you will get exposure to everything. See what you like and you don't like. Then probably in second year you can take a call, right, sir? That option is there. In the first year only, you don't need to decide. Since you don't come from that background where people are clear, but you have 1 year to explore your strengths and weaknesses, and then you can take a call. The faculties are there who will help you to kind of get the right kind of selection done with respect to your subjects and your specialization. Thank you. Yes. Five, six companies. Right.
So do you regret any of the decision of juggling between so many companies, or did you ever feel like you should have stayed at a particular?
Yeah. One regret, I think I should have stayed at TCS and done a relaxed life, spent a relaxed life. But I think there is no regret, because these are the decisions I have taken, and I knew the risks and rewards. So basically, if I tell you, the people who have stayed back in TCS, they have much lesser exposure than me with respect to other industries, right? But they have other benefits, right? They have most comfortable life in terms of job security. They never had to go out and then give interviews and kind of study about various industries or organizations. They're happy, right? And there are people who have switched more than me. They have more exposure, right? It is not about switching. Nobody says switches now, because you go to a company. So I have laid off a person after 7 days of joining in one of the startups. So nowadays that concept doesn't work, but there are still companies who will reject your CV on that basis. But those companies are not my target companies. Yes, please.
Yes, so since the time you have passed out until now, there's been a lot of inculcation of tech in every sector of every organization.
Right.
Nature is HR tech, it's marketing tech, it's fintech everywhere. So how important is it to inculcate technical knowledge for everyone, even after passing out MBA college throughout their life?
Very, very important. Very, very important. So you start with the basics, right? You first, as a technology, you can use Excel, right? So basically, Excel with SQL and a few other macros, you can make lucrative dashboards, which are better than few of the automated dashboards which we have. Now, when a technology comes in, there are two sets of people. One who build the tech and one who uses the tech. You need to understand where you want to be. So, for example, I am an end user of tech. I am not a back end or a developer of tech. So, if I want a HRMS system, right, I will not go and code and design. I will go to the market, evaluate the best. For that, I need to understand what my requirements are and where these tech products will solve it for me. So, for example, very simple example. When I was with TCS long back, TCS still is a tech leader, right? So I was working in a project which was paperless recruitment, right? In that, anybody coming in for interview, right, had to create their profile in the system. And they need not carry any kind of paper with them except a government ID card. So once you come into the office for interview, you have a code, registered code, right?
EPI ID.
Not UPI ID.
EPI ID.
EP ID, correct, sir. It is EP, and then there are other divisions. For campus, it is a different code. For experience, that is a different code. So that code is used by the entire recruitment team right from your first interview till your onboarding. So the person who will interview you will click into that code, he will see your profile, he will interview you, he will update the feedback there. The next person, or he will also have to select either you are a shortlist or hold or not selected, right? If he shortlists you, the next panel will see all the comments. So when he interviews you, he has all the background. And then it goes to the HR, and then HR closes it with discusses the salary with you and closes it in the system. It goes to the C&B team for approval in the system. Then you receive the offer letter in the system. You have to accept in the system or reject in the system. You have to upload your onboarding documents in the system. So everything is, as per a proper workflow. So that that's where it helps us, because previously we used to take papers, we used to write, feedback, send it to somebody else, create salary structures, print a offer letter. Still a lot of companies do print an offer letter, then you will sign and you will send it back, we will create a file. So these kind of technologies help us as an end user, right? So for example, learning and development systems, right? To track how many courses an employee has done. Initially, it was all in their employee files. You write, this year 2 trainings, last year 4 trainings. Now you can do it in a click of a system. I can download data of my entire workforce, what they have done, and I can analyze and I can take my decisions. So taking a decision on using technology is an organizational call, but you have to be very, very open to these changes. Now it depends on you whether you are as an LMS company developing that software or as a customer using that software.
Thank you.
Yes, please. So, yeah.
So what are modern HR leaders today thinking about artificial intelligence, and what should New Year work?
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So what are HR leaders today thinking about artificial intelligence, and how should younger New Year workforce should adopt to this new advent of technology?
So, from a student point of view, as of now, I mean, you can just be aware of what are the technologies which are there, right? What you can read about, there are reports which Deloitte, AON, Hewitt, they publish on AI, right, for HR. You can read through them. But once you get into the industry, right, every company will have a different set of requirements. For us, we use AI to predict attrition, right? So we feed the data. How many people have left us on, say, for last 2 years? Which region they come from? What age group they are in? Which states they come from? What was their tenure? What was their designation? So those things which we are doing manually, now we feed into a system, and that gives me a tentative report, right? Because data a prediction cannot always be correct, but it is up to us how we interpret that data. So that manual work goes away with AI. And now it is integrated with our HRMS system, so via an API. So we don't need to do anything. Every month we get reports that this is the tentative, attrition that we can predict. And then after that month, we just match. Okay, this month it was 90%. Some months it is 70%. And then we put the feedback into the system where it went wrong to make the system more predictable. So that is one use of AI that we use. Second is, if you guys have heard of Lina AI. Have anybody of you heard of Lina AI? So Lina AI is it's something similar to Siri or Google Assistant or an Alexa. So it is such a tool. If integrated with your HRMS system, you just need to tell her, please apply a leave for me for 21st, and she will do it. So you need not log into the system, or and then get into that leave and attendance module and then apply. Similarly, there are other things also that Lina AI can do, and few things which she can't, right? And so that is also another way of using AI for HR. So from a leader's point of view, we are looking at AI to reduce transactional work that the HR team does.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. How different was the corporate life from the student life here? Like IMT prepares you for the corporate rigor and everything, but we regularly hear that corporate will be even more like competition intensive than us guys here. So how different was it, and was it really so like cutthroat and Bareham?
See, it depends on which phase of the company you are with the company. So for Byju's, I was in the downfall of the company, right? So that was very, very hectic. Every day I was reviewed on how many people have I taken out, right? Emotionally, that is very, very negative because I am taking jobs from people, and that is my job to take out jobs. Wherein in the initial career, I was happy I was offering jobs to people. In the later half of my career, it changed, right? So that was, so I used to reach office by 9:30 in the morning. I used to come home by 11:30 because there are a lot of compliances that you need to do when you are taking out somebody, right? You would have read in news, Byju's remove, lay off 5,000 people, 2,000 people, 4,000 people, right? So those are no way comparable to the superb college days, right? So college time was tough because this is the time when you are sharpening your skills, you are developing yourself, right? The more input you give, the more will be the output. And if you kind of if you have come here to enjoy, then your placements and other things will take a toss. It has to be a mix of everything. Corporate life will be tough. So yesterday also I was telling sir, I reached office at 9:30, and then there were few uncalled meetings which happened from 2:30 to 6:30. So my 2:30 to 6:30 work got rescheduled to 7 to 10:30. I reached home at 11. Today morning I took a flight and I'm here. Tonight I'll reach home at around 1:30, and tomorrow again I have to be in office, even though I am 5 days working, but there is an emergency meeting which has come up at 12 o'clock. So this is the kind of life you can expect as you grow up. In the first 2-3 years, I don't think you will get so much of pressure. You have to adapt, but with more power, more responsibility, higher CTC, the expectation will be much, much higher. Yes, please.
In the position you are in with the company, Sodexo, so how would you say it? You are working with the company or for the company? How should we see it? Like, why I'm asking is, people usually say that you are working for corporate, not with the corporate. There is a different feeling. Like for a startup, we are working for startup. Like we are working for its growth. But since corporate is already such a big behemoth, we are not actually that much into its growth, and like we don't have such much personal connect than with the startup.
Now, so basically, what you are saying is, so startups are generally, you will see these terms 0 to 1, 1 to 10, right? You are building from zero, right? But there are corporates which have grown immensely. You see the NVIDIA story. Are you following, any of you following the NVIDIA story?
Yes.
So I think you have your answer. It is not that, it is not about for or with. It is about how you place it. See, you always want to work with, right? But when you feel that you are working for, probably you need to look for a change. Any questions from the other room? I did not realize that we have our counterparts there also. We can, maybe later on we can also meet them separately for 5-10 minutes. Right, so here are a few moments from my college days, right? So we four were the part of the HR club. And this is the last day of our college, which was basically the photo sessions, connecting for the last time, because I think next day we were all flying out, right? This is our convocation at IMT Ghaziabad. But now you guys are lucky you get to do it here. Right. So, like you guys are attending this session, I was also part of hosting these kind of sessions with Saurav sir, and these are my batchmates with whom we all are in touch with. Along with studies, also make good friends and have some good time, explore Hyderabad with people, with your classmates. Because see, the network that you make now will help you grow. So I'm there sitting here. Right, so this was our session. Do you guys see me in this photo? Can anybody recognize me in this photo? Okay. And then we used to go to Inorbit Mall. I don't know how high-tech city looks like now 10 years later, but yes, that was one of our destination, the GVK Mall. And then this is the launch of the first HR club that we did here. So all my HR classmates. So this was the first name, I am HR, of the first HR club. Which is now Synergy, yeah. Name changed to Synergy. And this is our batch photograph. 2012-14, all of us there. And finally, this is me with my, on the day of my convocation, right? So this is how I have spent my 2 years. I have enjoyed with my friends, participated in various extracurricular activities. We had also, similar to IPL, we had a cricket series, right? So we had owners, we had players, we had bidding, and then we played on the ground. Similarly, basketball, we went out to other colleges for debates, for extracurricular activities. So you should always remember one thing, right? You always should bring some edge over others, right? So for example, two equally competent people in an organization are being evaluated for promotion. So the person who has been more visible into the organization will get that promotion. That is very, very clear. So you have to be very, very, open to participate in any kind of activities, any kind of CSR activities, any kind of internal engagement activities. Group with people, get to know people from other departments. And that is how, along with your work, that will give you an additional edge. So here, be part of any of those, clubs that interests you. N number of events will happen, every month 2 or 3 events. It will be either a blood donation camp or, we went out to the nearby village to a school, right? So be actively participating in those events. That will help you. So when you get into your job, you will take up those additional, projects, or, you will support your organization in different ways apart from your work, which will give you an added advantage over people who are at your level but not doing those additional things, right? Secondly, one more important thing. The first year is very, very important, right? Nowadays, you need to work in teams. You need to collaborate with the marketing team, finance team, HR team, legal team, technology team, sales team. So understand all the functions well. So the first year gives you an opportunity to have a base of all the functions. Economics, very, very important, right? So time and money that, you'll be taught or you already know. And in life, you will realize 10 years later that how important that is, because, that is what you will be short of. 24 hours a day. If you spend 16 hours in office, how much time will you sleep? How much time will you spend with your families? So you need to understand time and money well, right? So fine. So I think I got a lot of LinkedIn requests. I have accepted all of them before the meeting. Before the session. I'm habituated to meetings. So any more coming in, I'll definitely accept. You can reach out to me for any help, support required directly or through our APO, our faculties. I'm there to help as much as I can, right? Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable session. The story you quoted from your professional journey was extremely knowledgeable and engaging. The learnings you had told us were very informative, and we're very grateful that you took the time out of your schedule to enlighten our students and very politely clear all the doubts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Professor Saurabh Bhattacharya, Chairperson of the Alumni Relation Committee, to administer the vote of thanks.
Hey, good evening, guys. Just 2 minutes of your attention, nothing more than that. So first of all, it's a surreal feeling. Avishek had come in the afternoon, and we have spoken about a lot of things. And in fact, myself, Professor Chakrapani and Professor Shriyasha Reddy were sitting together with Avishek, and we were surprised to know that we still recall most of the students of his batch with name. And I, being in the role of an alumni chair, has a privilege of knowing the journey of almost all of his batchmates. So I keep saying to my students in the campus is that in the campus, students' grades are with me. So I don't normally try to make friends with the students. My friendship with the students starts only after they pass out from here. And I've been lucky that I have got a lot of respect, and in fact that is true for all the faculties here, that whenever we call any of the alumni, they never cut our phones, right? So they will always respond. And I think for a faculty, there can't be anything more satisfying than this feeling that their alumni is happy to receive a call from them. So when I had options of bringing alumni to this forum, Abhishek's name was suggested to me, none other than Professor Romina, and some of you might not know that she also happens to be my better half. So here also the better half's importance prevailed. Okay, we'll talk about it later when we meet in the classes. There are different stories about it. So, but if you had noticed, and correct me, Avishek, if I'm wrong, 10 years back when Abhishek and a couple of his male classmates have decided to take HR as a specialization, it was still a taboo subject. Male taking an HR was kind of a new thing, right? And I think it was a very courageous decision on part of Abhishek and his friends. And mind you, those photographs where Abhishek is, couple of friends are surrounded by beautiful girls, all of them are doing pretty well in their lives, right? And I think if I'm not wrong, in their batch, HR students were the first ones to get placed, right? That's how it used to be. So it's a great feeling, Avishek, to have you here from your very, very busy schedule. I know you have to fly back, and again you have meetings to attend. But I'm sure you should, if instead of me offering the vote of thanks, you should offer a vote of thanks to me that I gave you an opportunity to come to the campus after 10 years and share this dais where someone was addressing you 10 years ago. And so thank you very much. And he has also given you this option of connecting with him. Please do connect with him on LinkedIn, and he's quite responsive. So I'm sure he will, the moment you say that you're from IMT Hyderabad, he will definitely respond to your request. Right? So thank you very much, and thank you all of you for being here and being patient listeners.
May I now request Dean Professor Chakrapani Chaturvedala to present Mr. Abhishek Mohanta with a memento as a token of gratitude and appreciation.